on a normal analog mixer, right? You have faders, and I have taught you that faders control what we hear, what the audience hears, right? Now on an analog console, to control what the artists hear, you adjust accent, right? And the accent on an analog console is on the knobs below your EQ. Alright, now on this mixer, there's no knobs. You use the faders to adjust the accents as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug from the mains, and I'm going to plug in the left connector, which is the grey one. I'm going to plug this into mix 1, and I'm going to plug the other one into mix, it won't reach, so I'll plug it into mix 4. Alright. So on this mixer, you can see that you have down here, you have mix 1 to 4, and then you have 6 paired accents. Now the reason they are paired is that they can be stereo, and stereo is for in-ear monitors, right? Which I think you guys don't use too much lah. If you need more than 4 accents, you just use the pan controller. So this mixer has up to 10 accents. Now check 1 2. Right, why no sound?
No M.
Okay, so turn on the M. Okay, so check, no sound. Why no sound?
The layer not selected.
Not quite. What have I just unplug and unplug?
The main.
Right, so I've moved the main. So if I move this, right, back to right, check 1 2. Okay, so we just confirm signal is passing. Alright, so now I plug this into 4. So if I want to send, say I want to send to aux 1, okay, what I do is here I press mix 1, and then you raise the fader that you want. So say I want to send channel 20 to aux 1, I just bring up this check 1 2, check 1 2. Now why no sound? Very good. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Right? So you need to be aware of what is on here lah. Because say mix 1 is on, but you think LR is on, then you'll be mixing and you can't hear any change. And what you're actually doing is you are effing up the guy's monitor mix lah. Alright? So obviously we go back to left. Yeah. Okay? So be aware, there is no parallel on the analog boards, right? Because analog boards, one control, one function, right? And that's an advantage. With here, you gotta get your head around that. Same thing, right? So if you want to send to mix 4, press mix 4. So you can hear that there's some sound, right? I don't quite, oh yes, because we have mix 1 is still active. So let's turn it off. 4, right? Check 1 2. So you can hear it's coming out the other side lah. Yeah, because these are mono lah. All right. Now I just quickly demonstrate. I'll plug into 9 and 10. Okay. So 9 and 10. Now 9 and 10 are a stereo pair. Okay. So if I go to 9 and 10 and I bring this up, okay, check 1 2, you can hear that it's coming out both sides. Alright. So if someone was wearing in-ear monitors, your voice will be right in the center of their head. So for this one, right, you need to select and then you use the pan control. Check 1 2, right? So you can pan it left or you can pan it right. If you are using them as mono sends, then panning left will send it only to mix 9 and panning right will send it only to mix 10. Alright? But these are really intended for stereo lah. And this does not affect the left-right pan. Okay, so again, you need to be aware because sometimes you'll be panning. How come no difference? It's because one of the mixers is selected lah. So that's how you would set up your monitor sends lah, just like your regular aux sends. Okay, let's do the effects. So we go back to left-right, and I'm going to plug back into the left-right outputs. Alright, so right now, who here knows a little bit about effects? Okay, right. Yeah. So what can you tell us about effects?
There's like the echo, there's reverb, there's so Elsa.
Oh.
It's changing.
Oh. Power setting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Correct. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the old days, all right, you needed a separate outboard device, right, which looked like a little amplifier, and you chose, right, would you want hall or plate or that sort of thing. The nice thing about digital boards is that they can all be built in. So this mixer has 4 separate effects engines that you can deploy, and you see them under here. So can you see? I just press effects, so you can see effects 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the default setting, 1 is a short reverb, 2 is a long reverb, 3 is a delay, and 4 is ADT. I don't know what that is. I think it's a doubler or auto tune or something.
Oh, I need that.
Yeah. Now this is all customizable, okay? But I'll just use FX2 to show you. So if you think about it, may I have? Okay. So in the old days, Duster run away. So in the old days, what you would do is you had your console, right? And then you had your FX unit, okay? So the way that you would typically do this is you would use an aux send post fade. You would use a post fade aux send to go into the effects unit, usually mono because we're doing live sound. You would then return a stereo pair to the mixer, and you would have 2 channels that were labeled effects return lah. Okay, so in other words, you send what is called a dry signal. Okay, dry doesn't mean no alcohol, it means no effect lah, right? And then you would return a wet signal. Wet signal meaning 100% effects, right? Not that other one, right? Okay. So with this mixer, the faders do the same thing, but it is all internal. There's no need to go outside. So what we do is, you have to first tell the mixer, I want to send this channel to my effects engine. So here, what do you think I press? Very good. Okay, I press FX2. Why FX2? Because I want to use the long reverb. And then I bring up channel 20 lah. Now how much you bring up is up to you. Okay, I will typically bring it up all the way. Okay? Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Alright, and the reason for that is, I bring it up. I'll mute it so that people don't freak out lah. Right? Now, this one is inside the mixer. The coming back in is on the second layer. Can you see where it is? Now, be careful. Effects send is the going there. The coming back is where? Yes. It's a bit confusing because the effects return is this one. So it's a little bit complicated in the sense that some people prefer it the other way around. Okay, so let's go back here. We unmute the channel. Check, 1, 2. So in this case, the check 1. Where is my... that's the check 1, 2. So I've muted it, so just to turn off the... But what I'm not quite sure is why this is down. Yeah, shouldn't it be up like... Check 1, 2, 2. There we go. That should be up. Check 1, 2. I guess there is something. Check 1, 2. Oh, I know why. It's because my FX2 is selected there. That's why. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. The reason that this was down is that because FX2 was selected, you cannot send the effect back to the effect, right? It's a logical impossibility. So that caught me out lah, right? So you go back to this one. Check 1, 2. Now, that is an awful lot of effect. You would never use that in a real setting lah. Alright? So you can see that you can mute the effect, right? You can also EQ, parametric EQ, yeah. You can EQ the effect return however you want. So you can make it sound real scary if you want, right? Or you can take the top end out. So it acts like any other channel. And if we go back to FX, so if we go to FX2 here, right? Let's say I don't want a hall. Let's say I want something else. It's under function. There. Yeah. So this button, I always forget to push this. So you can see that I have reverbs, delays, modulation, right? So let's say I want, instead of that long haul, say I want a delay, right? Then I've got, what's this? Delay craft work. What's that? Don't know. Heck lah, that's just fine. We press recall. So now we got a delay instead of a reverb. What's this do? Oh, okay. So you can hear that doubling. Okay. So let's say I want more delay. Let's link. Check. One. There we go. Now let's have this other one. Ooh, I like that.
This is the you.
Absolutely. Let's have a check now.
Whoa. Photo box.
So you can go and play around with this endlessly lah, and you can see what you want. Right. The last thing that I might show you is the mute groups lah. All right. Check 1, 2. I'm still plugged in the left, right. Okay. So in the old days, if you wanted to mute a channel, right, you would press mute, right? So if you wanted to mute a channel, you had to physically mute it. So the good news about this is that because it's all in software, right, you can program groups of mutes. So for example, say you wanted to mute all your drum mics or all your keyboard channels, you can do that. And the way that you set that up, it's under routing, and then you can see that you have mix sense, right? So mix sense, you have all the various mixes and then your left right. So right now we have left right selected, we are on. If I take this off, right, you can hear that there's no sound, right? Because I've just deselected it. It's on by default so that you don't have trouble. Now with the mute groups, I can assign it. There are 4 mute groups which by default are assigned to these 4, the first 4 soft keys here. So if I were to say I put it into mute group 1, right? And then let's say I assign these 4, right, to mute group 1. Okay? So I have channels 20 to 23 in mute group 1. If I press this, can you see that? Yeah. So this slow flash is to let you know that it has been muted remotely lah. Okay. And again, this is real powerful because you can mute just at a shot. You can, yeah, that's right.
Or the DI.
Absolutely, yeah. Whatever you want lah. And the other thing which goes along with this automation, you can see these things called DCA groups, okay? DCA groups stand for Digitally Control Amplifier. And what that is, it's like a remote control for your channels lah. So it allows you to control groups of channels using just one fader. So let's say that we put these 4, right? So 1, 2, 3 into DCA group 1. Okay, so we'll bring these 4 up. Now the DCA master is found here lah, right? You can see DCA master 1, right? And this allows me to now, I can control those 4 channels using just one fader. So if I bring this down, you can see that they should go down. Yeah, but I wonder why they're not doing that. Let's see, do you see? They are, it is in. Okay, the way to check is to talk into my mic. Check 1 2 2 2. There you can see. Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Right, so it's like a remote control. And I think the reason that they don't go down is because it is a DCA group. If it is a normal group, then it will the fader will track together. Okay. I think that's enough, right? That's enough to get you started, enough to show you the capabilities of what we have.
I love the
Okay, right. So, thanks very much for watching. Bruno Luce here. See you in the next video.